Hey guys, we're giving away $5,000 total during this springtime. We have already given away $2,000 out of the $5,000. If you guys want a chance to win, head over to our Instagram account at @MostAmazingOfficial and look out for the contest images for a chance to win. Every few years comes a cartoon that stands above the rest. We have it with Adventure Time, we had it with SpongeBob, and you can put Gravity Falls up there with these kings of the castle. And whenever a show starts to break into such legendary status, it creates such a huge fan base that people will go out of their way to try and pick apart every part of every episode to see if there's any secrets that are actually not scripted in the show but are meant to be there. And with Gravity Falls, there's a ton of secrets already. Sometimes these fan theories are bang on, like something that could actually be true, and other times they border on insane, but they're still really fun to read. Hello, Most Amazing Top 10 family. I am, of course, your host, Chada Reyna, and this is, of course, Most Amazing Top 10. Today, we are going to be looking into all the crazy Gravity Falls stuff that we can possibly find. We will be covering all of that with today's list of top 10 scary Gravity Falls theories. If any of you at home are interested in more Most Amazing Top 10 content, you should check us out on Instagram and Facebook because there's a ton of extra content over there for you guys. And you are going to want to stick around until the end of this list because I'm going to be doing some more pet shoutouts, which you guys love so much. Remember, if you want me to shout out your pet, you can hit me up on Instagram. And without taking any longer, let's get into this list. At number 10, we have Bill Isn't Dead. The troublemaker that is at the heart of a lot of the Gravity Falls episodes is, of course, Bill, the yellow glowing triangle with mysterious powers that looks like he's some sort of metaphor for the Illuminati or some sort of secret organization. Well, at the end of the show, Bill finally kicks the bucket when he is lured into a trap and then cracked with the memory gun. Just keep that as a side note if you ever want to get rid of a supernatural triangle. That is how you do it. Now, right before Bill dies, he utters a code that you can't hear normally, but if you play the episode in reverse, you can hear him say AXOLOTL. My time has come to burn. I invoke the ancient power that I may return. Now, will we ever see him come back? Well, who knows? It's up to Disney on whether or not they bring the show back, and with the coronavirus going on, I don't think they're really expanding their catalog at this time. But if the show does come back in show format or maybe in movie format, we might see the reincarnation of this character, and I'm sure this secret code will play a role. At number 9, we have Bill Wrote the Journals. One of the best quest lines in the show is the hunt for the journals. At every twist and turn, Dipper and Mabel are trying to hunt down these journals so they can get Ford out of the other dimension and bring an end to Bill. But how is the information locked away in these journals? For sure, Ford knows a lot about what's going on with them, and it seems like they're packed with information to defeat Bill. But here's the thing, Bill would know how to kill himself, and Bill was always one step ahead of everyone. Maybe this was all part of Bill's master plan. Maybe they only think they killed Bill because Bill altered all their memories, and the reason they thought Ford wrote the journals originally is also because Bill altered their memories, and now Bill has set everything up so he can come back even more powerful. At number 8, we have Dipper time-looped Wendy. Wendy is, of course, the big crush of Dipper throughout the whole show. Even though she is much older than him and she doesn't repay the childlike butterflies, she's still one of Dipper's good friends and the source of many adventures. But in one episode where Mabel and Dipper go back in time, they run into a young Wendy who says Dipper is cute. Now, this image of Dipper could have been locked away inside Wendy's brain, thus making her grow closer to him in the future, not realizing that this is the same person she met in the past. This loop then locks the two into many episodes where they can go on adventures together. Without this moment happening, we literally don't get so much of the craziness that comes out of the show, and maybe they never defeat Bill. At number 7, we have the memory gun doesn't erase memories. The memory gun seems to work like some sort of neuralizer, like the thing from Men in Black, wiping people's memories so they forget everything they have seen in Gravity Falls. I mean, a lot of crazy stuff goes on down there, so I bet there would be people who would rather live peacefully rather than remember the time they were almost eaten by zombies. But when Stan is smacked with the memory gun, he's later able to recover some of his memories. People say he was able to do this because the memory gun only covers your old memories, locks them away like the sunken place from Get Out, but in a lot less creepy way. So if you encounter things to do with your old memories, it can recharge them and your mind will remember everything. This is why looking through the photo album at the end of the show recovers all of Stan's old memories. At number 6, we have Dipper Wrote the Journals. Well, this doesn't make a lot of sense. For any fan of theories, you know that this could not have happened, because the journals were written way before Dipper had any concept of gravity falls. Well, throughout the show, we actually learn that time travel is a very real thing, that he can go back in time and alter events that were set in the future. So what if on his first run through, Dipper saw that gravity falls needed to be saved, but he failed? So then he wrote the journals, went back in time, and gave them to Stan, who hadn't had the metal plate in his head to prevent his memories from being changed. So then he changed his memories so we would forget about him, because if Stan remembered, it would have warped the future, and he probably would have told Bill, and Bill would have been on the lookout for Dipper. With this time loop, Dipper was looking out for himself and the future of Gravity Falls before anyone even knew what was going on. But where is this alternate Time Lord version of Dipper? Well, who knows? Maybe we'll find him in the future. At number 5, we have The Last Pine. Now let's get wrapped up in some famous things from other pop culture items. That is how you know your show is really starting to take off. If you follow the show, you know that Dipper and Mabel's last name is Pines. They are the Pine twins, and eventually they get the power to travel through time, as we covered in our last point. Well, what other famous thing has a ton of time travel in it? Well, Back to the Future. In the movie Back to the Future, Marty is at the Two Pines Mall. This is when he goes back in time, and when he does this, he crashes into a pine tree, so when he goes back to the future, the mall is now called the Lone Pine Mall. Well, the theory is that the Pine twins were so famous in the town, popping up there through time travel, that is why the mall was named the Two Pines Mall. And when the DeLorean was traveling through time, it actually hit one of the Pine twins that was going through whatever sort of time portal, like they hit each other traveling through time, which killed one of the twins, and then only left the name as the Lone Pine Mall. This is a very depressing theory, but who knows how time travel works? Maybe that is actually possible. At number 4, we have nuclear fallout. Now, this was technically disproven at the end of season 2, but there are some people who still stand by the theory that this is really what is going on in this town. And it explains why all the strange stuff is happening in Gravity Falls. And really so many other series have this theory. We have The Simpsons has one, SpongeBob has one, so it's only fitting that Gravity Falls has one too. The idea is that the source of all these strange things happening is the result of nuclear radiation from constant nuclear testing. This radiation has created a whole bunch of monsters and mutations, and that is why everyone in the show has to fight back all these creatures constantly. Number 3, we have GRUNCLE Stan's hallucination. GRUNCLE Stan is the center point of the whole show. But what if he actually is the whole show? What if everything that happens in the show is all his imagination? I mean, he is an older man. He's not that old. He's not so old that he can't do things for himself, but perhaps poor lifestyle choices kicked off early onset Alzheimer's, or even just getting hit in the head caused him to have some serious brain damage. We are just seeing the whole show through the eyes of an old man who is slowly losing his mind. I mean, that is super dark, but when you think about it, it's kind of a good case of going bonkers. I would hope that anyone's crazy hallucinations would be as fun as GRUNCLE Stan's. Beat sitting around all day, that's for sure. This might explain why there's things like the memory gun. It's a metaphor for an old man losing his mind. That's why the show ends with him going back through all his memories through the photo album. If you had a grandparent who forgot everything, this might be the last thing you would want to do with them. At number 2, we have the Mabel clone. Be careful with clones. If you get reckless, they will try and kill you and take your place. That is a classic clone plot. That is just a top 10 tip for you guys I'm going to give you for free. Now, there is one episode of Gravity Falls where Dipper clones himself using a copying machine, so we know that cloning is possible in the universe. Cut to the episode where Mabel is getting notes in a bottle from Armando. One of those notes in a bottle says La Bombe. Some people think that this is the name of Mabel's clone that she has kept hidden from everyone. She made a clone of herself just in case she was ever killed or lost in time going on one of these adventures. The clone could then just move in and take her place so her friends and family wouldn't have to miss her, and no one would find out about the secret stuff they've been doing in Gravity Falls. At number 1, we have GRUNCLE Stan has been working with Bill Cipher. Whoa, this would put everything on its head, but just follow me for a moment. This is the idea that Bill Cipher was actually released by the Illuminati, because what is their symbol? Well, it's a pyramid with an eyeball on it. And what is Bill Cipher? Well, of course, he is a pyramid with an eyeball on it. So people think that Bill Cipher was conjured by the Illuminati and now controls it, leading the shadow government to world domination. But GRUNCLE Stan also wears a fez, that that little hat he wears with the string on it and everything. Well, a lot of people who have participated in secret organizations throughout the years have worn that same hat. It's a symbol as being part of these weird cults. So people think that Bill and Stan were in cahoots with each other, and then at the last second, Stan betrayed Bill so he could take control of the Illuminati himself and be the ruler of the shadow government. I don't know, maybe not. All right, everyone, that has been our list. Thank you all so much for tuning in. And as promised, I'm going to be doing some more pet shoutouts. Remember, if you want me to shout out your pet, you can hit me up on Instagram. I pick new pets every day. So if you don't get picked one day, you can message back another day. I usually pick who messaged last. So if you don't get picked, just message again and again and again and again. And without taking any longer, let's shout out some pets. To kick things off, we have Alex, Tygo, and Danica. This is a combo of cuteness that is almost too cute to handle. So much cute going on at one time. Next up, we have JJ, who's the most colorful little bird, chilling out on that towel rack so hard. He's just like, look at me. Look at how colorful I am. After that, we have Zuki, and I didn't know that a face could be that perfect. Look at that face. Look at his eyeballs just looking up at you. Oh my god, that melts your heart. After that, we have Marley, who is so happy with that big old smile on. And to close it out, we have Clifford, who is so cute having that nap. Look at his little belly sticking out. He has a little puppy belly. He's like, oh, I'm a little puppy. Oh my god, it's killing me. Alright everyone, that has been our list. Thank you all so much for tuning in. As always, I would love it if you could like, comment, subscribe, and hit the little notification bell. Until next time, I've been your host, Jade Arana, and I gotta watch all of Gravity Falls. Now there's so many things I missed. Bye.